2 quick announcements before we start. 1, the new merch is in, the new design, stickers, hoodies, everything else, multiple t-shirts. It's all restocked at ryanlongstore.com. And also, road dates, people have been asking for them to be announced. Most of the ticket links are up. Vancouver, St. Louis, Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh, Washington, Pittsburgh, Syracuse, Albany, West Nyack.
Sounded like a P.D. Pablo song for a second.
Yeah. Edmonton, San Jose, Tacoma, Cincinnati, Columbus. And also, me and Danny are going to do JJ Lieberman, who's going to be on the Patreon this week, his show at the Brooklyn Comedy Club in New York, Wednesday, May 25th at 10 p.m. So come out, help him sell it out so then he could have his monthly show and he could have benefits of being friends with us. All right.
You can tell our friends and they can have my things when we're dead. But we gonna live forever.
Danny has been signed to Sports Illustrated.
Soon enough.
So I knew everyone's seen him. The Sports Illustrated. Bigger, larger girl. It's sort of like Sports Illustrated for black guys now, right?
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a bigger girl, right? And Jordan Peterson is not a happy camper.
No, we've discussed this many times that he's getting grumpy. And this was a lot for him.
The thing was, too, that he also posted that he was like, I was off Twitter for 2 weeks and I came back on Twitter and I'm immediately mad. It was like, well, maybe because the first thing you tweeted on Twitter was like, this girl's fucking
Yeah, totally. And then everybody's like, fuck you, man. Like, you're a piece of shit. And then he goes, yeah, my life was so much better when I wasn't on Twitter. But the best part was he goes, all right, I'm giving my password away. I'm signing off. And then just like 50 tweets from him.
Jordan Peterson's an addict.
Yeah,
dude.
it really is. They
can't stop tweeting.
It's like, Jordan, you said you were going to give us the password. So can we have the password and we're going to change it? And
he's like, you pried out of his cold dead hands.
Totally. He goes, you fucking pig. No.
Yeah. I honestly think they're probably Peterson. Give us the password. He goes, you fucking. He locks himself. Peterson's just locked in a closet tweeting.
Yeah.
So obviously, this was your classic, Sports Illustrated being like, it's funny because it's for men magazine. But I will say, in terms of fat chicks that are getting pushed, like as hot, this girl is like if your body you brought her around, you wouldn't be like, oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, but exactly. But like,
this one was more like
that used
crazy.
Sports Illustrated swimsuit.
It's not the hottest girl in the world, no.
Not long ago, used to be the absolute pinnacle if you were a supermodel.
Yeah, this was like
that was like the kingmaker of supermodels.
Well, and now
Elon Musk's mom is on the cover. She's one of the 4.
That's exactly.
That didn't get a lot of press either. It's like they just put this fucking old lady on the cover.
Well, I'll tell you what. The reason I started bringing it up is because everyone's obviously pushing the fat stuff. You know what I mean? You're basically next up.
Body. That's what I said. I angered a lot of dude. I posted on Twitter and like. A lot of women were like unfollowed. I'm like,
yeah, you posted.
What did I say that was so controversial here?
You said that you might be a
I go at this rate, I might be on the cover, which it's technically true.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, exactly. What is wrong with that?
No, there's a big problem with Danny being on the cover. The ladies,
first off, it's not a female swimsuit.
The ladies should be so lucky.
It's just a swimsuit. I wear a swimsuit.
Danny's showing up.
Do you wear swimsuits?
Tits out. I do wear swimsuits.
Right. So we both wear swimsuits. Why can't we be on the cover?
What's the problem?
Yeah.
Well, also they had a bunch of people were posting, like basically like fashion magazines and online stores and stuff, and there's a lot of them where the dudes are all still shredded. This is what I've been talking about on stage a bit. Like Love Island will like that. They always try to put one gross chick in there, right?
Yeah.
But the dudes are all shredded.
Well, are you talking about the thing from Myers or whatever? That
there was a couple.
I saw them. Yeah, it was all like dudes gross chicks and then all shredded guys.
Body dudes are got like 8-pack where it's like it's a 10-pack. You don't even know where it came from. You think the 8-pack's got an 8-pack.
Yeah,
and then the girl the girl above it's like we're eating potato chips in the photo. Is that crazy? But I will say, the girls are so fucking fat in this country. It's like it is actually not that crazy. Where it's like if you go to a store, every girl's fat because every girl is fat.
But so are the guys.
That's the problem,
I guess.
Yeah,
so are the guys. So why is there no representation for men?
I just took a plane back from...
What was the thing we were called last week with Royce? The big...
Oh, yeah.
BHMs?
BHMs, big handsome man. Well, I took a plane back from San Diego, And there was a couple of Sports Illustrated fucking models were stewardesses.
Yeah.
I guess these Sports Illustrated models like double as stewardesses. And I go, this to me was crazy.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know, because they say there's no such thing as we talked about the privilege things last week, and then there's thin privilege, but there's no fat privilege.
Small dick privilege.
But when I came back from Toronto, I forgot to mention this. I forgot to mention this when I came back from Toronto. I don't know if this is technically related, but I got on the flight and we all went to the back. Like I was, they just seat you automatically at the back of the plane if you don't like upgrade your ticket.
Yeah.
And then there was nobody at the front at all. And so I go, hey, can I just sit somewhere else?
You don't ask, you just do it.
No. And then the woman goes, no, you have to sit or whatever. And then
wimpy move to
no. But so I go, and then so I sit down or whatever, and then she comes to me and goes, oh, they're like, we got to balance the weights, and so she's like,
she's like, yeah. So it's you on one side, and everyone else on the other.
But I got a fucking like not a business class seat, but I got the one right before with like I could stretch my legs out entirely.
So that's a life hack of just being overweight.
Yeah,
morbid,
there you go.
Right?
And when they pack everybody at the back of the plane,
this was crazy on my flight. I was like, listen, it's one thing. It's not, yeah, you're fat, whatever. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a job, but I'm sitting there.
But your job should be pie tester.
Yeah, your job should be pie tester, or at the very least giving tips to other pie testers. I sat there for 4 hours getting bumped every 2 seconds because these women can't fit in the aisles.
Oh, that's pretty. The stewardesses.
They couldn't fit in the aisles. I'm like, this is crazy.
That is kind of wild.
I'm not,
because it's a tight.
You cannot be 300 pounds and on a small flight of stewardess. So because they walk back and forth 40 times, dude. You
can't be wider than the cart.
They're wider than the cart.
Yeah, that's kind of the test.
You ever had someone bump you, like you're walking where a dude bumps you and you're like, you're just like rage kind of, like you almost get road rage?
Yeah.
I was getting that every 4 seconds. And the guy beside me was fucking no spring chicken size-wise either.
Yeah.
So I'm squished in this guy. So he's so big I can't even have my arm on the armrest. And then there's 4 Bertha stewardesses walking by. These 4 planets with a bow ties on. And I'm like, if you are an airline, I get if you go, hey, listen, we have, whatever you get. We're going to do our diversity, this and that and that.
Yeah.
Your diversity can't be, your job is to walk through it's like saying, hey, we're going to hire this 800-pound man to be like the tunnel climber.
Yeah.
He's got to go through tunnels with the flashlight on his head. It's like, he's going to get stuck.
Yeah, he's going to get stuck. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to, first off, there's a labor shortage. And then on top of that, you're going to be like, oh, we're not going to hire people based on their weight. That's a lot.
For a job that you legitimately cannot fit into doing.
What if just meet in the middle and grease them up? What if they just grease them up and you go, what's all over? Like, you don't really notice them, but you get out of the flight and you're just like all greasy.
Something. They might have to grease them up.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd rather them working at Sports Illustrated than the plane. This was out of control.
Yeah.
I was flabbergasted.
Yeah, that is fucking annoying. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no complaint. Who are you going to lodge that complaint with other than the listeners of the Boyscast?
Yeah. I know there's no one. I couldn't even tell the guy beside me. I was like, "Hey, you two. Yeah, okay, there you go." Do you remember? I don't remember. I was just thinking
when you stand in the bathroom the whole time.
Yesterday, yeah. But did I ever tell you that the guy when I was been here for like 6 months, and I was in Coney Island area, right? And there was this like black guy with a basically 800-pound wife, right? Mm-hmm. And then he was beating her.
Oh, I think you.
So he's like this hood dude, and he was beating her, and then I basically intervened, like I'm a white knight. I white knighted it, right? But he was really sort of giving it to her, right? And she didn't seem to care. She was like, "You call that a you?"
Yeah. I'm sorry. Did I just feel a breeze?
That's what she's saying, right? And then I kind of intervened. I'm like, "Hey, buddy, what's going on? Like, fucking take it easy, right?" And the guy, he didn't even get that confrontation maybe with. He's like, "No, you don't understand. Like, I told her to get McDonald's, and she got KFC and McDonald's, and she was only supposed to get McDonald's." And he was very mad that she got McDonald's and
she
KFC.
Broke her diet.
Well, no, that's what I never got to the bottom of. I really wish I did. Was he mad for a financial reason? Why she was like, "I can't choose. I'll get both," and he was like, "We don't have money like that."
Yeah.
Or was he like, you're supposed to have one fast food a day?
one fast food per meal.
Yeah, one fast food per meal.
Yeah.
And then so me and this guy started chatting, and turns out we like a lot of the same things, beating our chick. No, but he basically started telling me about I got him to stop beating her, and then he was like, "I like your tattoos, man," and I was like, oh, okay, hey, yeah, this is whatever, you know what I mean? And then we started talking about tattoos, and then the girl came up, and she was just sort of sitting there holding her 2 bags of stuff, and then I guess the situation had sort of diffused, and I left.
Oh.
But it was
And then the food got cold.
the food probably got cold, which he probably beat her for that too. How about this? Because now masks are not allowed on planes. I don't know if you saw this, but
They're not allowed?
Well, you don't have to have them on planes anymore. And they had another for the boys thing where in Germany they said all girls can be topless in pools or
I
whatever.
saw that. Except for during the week, which is the funniest actually reasoning for it.
Well, they should say that no masks. You don't have to wear a mask, but you also don't have to wear a bra and top.
Yeah. I like that.
That's where Biden should come out.
Yeah, no bras.
No, Biden.
Come on, man.
I just don't think it's that crazy for Biden to kind of come out right now and be like, listen, like, it was a hard pandemic. I'm just going to make a rule for gender equality that, girls could have their titties out in the plane.
Yeah, why not? I do. That's so funny though. Reading this thing about the German public pools or whatever, where they go, yeah, it's only on the weekends, no toplessness on the weeks, because there's kids getting like swimming lessons, and you're like, yeah, you know how many kids are gonna be like, all right, you're done, let's get out of the pool, and you go, I'm gonna stay in for
honestly,
a little
call
longer.
me a fiend.
I love the pool. I'm a pool man.
I actually do like.
Just gonna stay in for the next 4 hours.
Of even the people and like the people in Parliament or Congress or whatever Germany has, and it's just like the one guy that's been bringing this up every single week.
Yeah,
the titties in the pools thing. Sort of sketch too, just like the bunch of guys that are just like, yeah, honestly, women's rights, we need this. Get the titties in the pool, titties in the pool, titties in the pool. Come on, everybody!
And then they pass, they bang the gavel.
The one girl's got like her future is female flag. And she's like, I guess. Kind of feels like, and you're like,
topless, no tops. It's the no top party.
so a big win for German dudes, but okay, so
but we know that's actually not. It's a loss.
why you think the German girls?
Well,
are
it's the class.
nasty?
No, it's always the people who go topless are not the ones you want.
There's a couple fucking out there that are hot.
The only, yeah, I don't know. I feel like for something at a public pool.
Well, this thing here was my favorite. This is honest to God. I've had this in my head for 6 months, and this might be my favorite thing that I've seen. And I'm happy to bring this to the Boyscast. It's sort of a diss track against Danny, and I think that you guys are going to enjoy it as much as I did. A woman has wrote a song.
I love songs
about crypto dudes.
Yeah.
And she's not very happy with them. Spoiler alert.
Care about your crypto, boy. Not at all, not even one Bitcoin.
So she goes, it starts with, I don't care about your crypto, boy.
I mean, it's not a bad song.
Not even one Bitcoin.
Is this a cover of something?
I don't know.
Because it's good if it's not.
You liked it? You have to act like you like it, sort of, when someone makes a diss track about you.
I mean, it's not a bad. Remember the Bitcoin, the chick who stole like $200 million, and then she had her raps, and they were like the worst shit ever.
Yeah, that's good. That was pretty good. But I think it is one of those things with you though, when someone, someone's like, you get when you're at a roast, you got to act like you have like good spirits about
like
it.
the Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Good.
So she doesn't care about your crypto, boy. CEO of being unemployed.
You care more about your currency than you do about us currently. I don't need much, no private key to open up and talk honestly. Cause you're an addict getting mad, you better mask what you mean. In every single conversation, you're out in open sea. It's been so long, so either one, you choose your wallet or me. Well, better hope you're getting laid in Web3.
It's honestly like you would expect it to be total dog shit.
I didn't. I expected it to be amazing because you care more about your currency than you do about us currently. That is you, though. That's
Me?
you. No, because all of it says you're an addict getting mad. You metamask what you mean. Because this is, it really is like.
Puns? It has puns? Metamask what you mean?
She actually did sort of know the thing. Because aren't you out on if you're out on a date, are you not out on the phone sort of day trading your nonsense?
No.
I've seen it.
I occasionally, but not really. No.
We were on vacation, the four of us, and you spent, you were head deep in your phone trading cum rocket for fucking.
I've never traded cum rocket. I mean, sometimes I'll be peeking at it, but
yeah. And you sort of metamask what you mean. You're not really that open with what you mean. You keep it all in.
I do metamask.
So you're on phone.
I metamask what I mean.
And then she goes, in every conversation, you're on OpenSea. So I'm
actually not on. I've never done a transaction.
No, but you're always buying something. You bought those scrote mugs, for example.
Shout out.
So you're always on.
Shout out to Female Dating Strategy for the scrote mugs.
You're always on some website buying something, right?
That is, I be shopping.
Yeah, so that's what she has. So far, she has.
She's got me dead to rights.
Well, you care more about your currency than her currently. Is that true? What would you rather have?
Like the shekel? The Israeli shekel?
You're saying
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
That's the currency I care about?
They could also make this, it's not about a crypto boy. They make it about, like if you just made it about, like put like an Israeli guy on
like the
music
grappler.
video. Yeah. The music video is like the stereotype of a Jew.
Bad luck. Yeah.
But it's like, you know what it is? The music video for this is a pool party, but the grappler's there. You care more about your current.
Who invited the grappler? You know he doesn't take his shirt off when he goes in the pool?
He's in the pool with his outfit on. His tassels are wet. Like, you go, who casted this video? I don't know. You said you wanted like a fun dude who cares about money. He just auditioned. He killed the audition.
Yeah, I mean, we auditioned tons of guys.
No, wait till you see him cannonball. He's got the perfect.
He cannonballs like this.
Then you do currently, and then he's got two sparklers. He brings out a cake, but it's got a $sign on it. And the girl comes out, she wants to give him a smooch, and he's looking at his phone. He shoos her away, sort of thing, right?
Yeah. Get out of my
You're
face.
in at it, getting meta, man. What you mean? And then the last one is, you choose me. It's time. Then she sort of says her ultimatum to the grappler. She says,
grappler.
It's time to choose between your wallet and me. And I hope you're getting laid in Web3.
What would be? I don't know.
Hope you're getting laid in Web3 is a hot
hope
line.
You're getting laid in Tel Aviv.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking.
That is a hot line. I mean, it's a good song.
But the rabbi's like fucking, he's like doing a half pipe and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's fucking, it's like Skater Boy.
Exactly. So the rabbi's doing a half pipe. He's like playing pinball and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's just crushing
does
it.
some flips.
The crypto crash is sort of sexist because it affected men more.
It did.
You showed me something pretty funny because you're always online because you care more about Web3 than you do anything else, right?
Yeah, love Web3.
Well, I hope you're getting laid in Web3.
I'm already on to Web5.
That'd be bad for this girl when, like, in 2 years, they actually make it so you can get laid in Web3. You're, like, essentially in the metaverse, you're getting laid or whatever, right? And then she's like, hope you're getting... the guy's getting head by...
he goes, he just turns her off.
She comes into the room where she's about to deliver the final line, and the rabbi's got the virtual reality mask on, and he's like just fucking holding some girl's head down. Hope you're all right. Well, okay then.
I guess you've moved on.
Yeah. I guess
Grappler.
You've moved on. But Mr. Bean,
that was
we won't talk about crypto that much.
No.
But this is more Mr. Bean related than crypto
way
related.
And we don't have a lot of Bean content.
We don't actually do that much Mr. Bean content.
Very little Bean content.
And by the way, they don't realize this, but like before every episode, we're just like, wow, we go a little hard on Mr. Bean.
We do.
Yeah, we want to bring him out. So we actually put in, he basically launched his NFT. When Danny was saying last week, the people who launched their NFT the day the crypto crash happened, Mr. Bean.
Yeah. I saw that too. I go, this is not real. This is like a bad.
There's been a lot of Mr. Bean things that seem not real. Do you remember back in the day, there was an article going around. So Mr. Bean had like a messy divorce, right?
Right, yeah. Well, yeah, that was.
And she said that he's, the title of the article, and when they went to court and stuff, one of the reasons the wife wanted a divorce, and it said Rowan Atkinson, she wanted a divorce for him because she said she's been having all these unusual behaviors. During, for example, he kept crashing the car into the thing. He was chasing a bee around the house for 95 minutes.
Yeah, she goes after sex. Like she goes and she's like, there's something inside of me, and it's just fucking like it's just like minced beef. Steak tartare inside of you. Remember the steak tartare episode? Steak tartare episode. Classic Mr. Bean. One of the most classic fucking.
So the steak tartare is basically he's trying to get rid of it, right? So they're basically you need to eat all this steak tartare, but he has a different plan.
Yeah. Yeah, his plan is he's just gonna put it like under his mug, and then he goes, look at this. What's
They keep giving him more, right?
he goes, he's so mad because the steak tartare is everywhere. Like that's a bug in the steak tartare, and they go, oh, we'll bring you a new one. And he goes, oh,
and they just keep bringing him more steak tartares, right? Isn't that what it is?
yeah. That's the thing is, and then they go, oh, we're sorry. He was trying to get a refund.
Yeah, still my favorite Mr. Bean of all time is when the girl points at the photo, and then she goes, it's a girl. Mr. Bean has a girlfriend one episode, right? And he's being very unusual, as he's up to his old tricks of being unusual. And the girl's like, oh, it's our anniversary. She kind of speaks like that too, or something. And then she wants the photo. She points to the photo, and Mr. Bean goes, oh, I got it. And it's like a photo of people getting married and the guy proposing. And then she opens up her present, and it's the photo of the couple getting married. And then she starts crying, and he goes, no, I have your actual present, in his Bean voice. And then he gives her a ring case, and she goes, starts crying, opens up the ring, and then pulls out and it's a ring, pulls out the ring, and it's the screw to hang the photo on the wall.
How many writers do you think that show had?
Whoever thought of that one was happy with themselves.
You think that was a big writing room?
Yeah, I do think so.
That was like fucking 12 guys. They go, what if the ring?
I think it was the best of the best.
Oh yeah, that was a great show.
So Mr. Bean's had another calamity of errors launching his NFT. His Bean NFTs, and basically it was 3,333 non-fungible tokens that they're all Bean related.
Yeah,
but
did you buy one?
No, I would though. If there was
I bet they're still available.
I might buy a Bean.
I could guess.
Well, Mr. Bean's kind of based. I don't know if you know that.
No.
So Mr. Bean, they had a while where Rowan Atkinson was out there being like a big free speech guy.
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
He was kind of doing like a Ricky Gervais style thing.
Yeah, he's a British comedian. There's not a lot of there's an extra level of, I feel like, the British comedians who are not the free speech guys. I don't know. There seemed, but yeah, he was just like a free speech guy. Same with John Cleese, and then everybody's John Cleese is like, oh, I'm a big free speech guy. I always have been, and then everybody's like, we hate you now.
Yeah, some people don't like him because of that.
So many people. He was like, one of some people consider like, this,
which is way
Mount
better.
Rushmore of comedy kind of thing, and then everybody's like, this guy sucks now.
If you have your two options between, going, if you're 80 and you go like boomer, like if you go full like, you kind of get it, but you don't. Because I've heard John Cleese say some, wild things and some smart things lately or whatever.
Yeah.
But we were talking about it a bit. Whatever. I'm probably just talking shit right now. But I was saying it's way better than the opposite, where it's like the John Cleeses of the world become, who's that writer that's just like, he becomes essentially part of the resistance, right?
Oh yeah, like Rob Reiner.
That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Those guys who are just like
way worse.
Oh, they took the full on like CNN pill,
Oh yeah.
They're just drowning in every sort of like telling you what to do.
Yeah,
and they have still a whole philosophy.
They still talk. Like I bet if you pull up Rob Reiner's tweets right now, in the last 10 tweets, he's talking about January 6th.
Yeah.
Still.
Want to know something? Yeah, for sure. Do you want to know something about writers' rooms? Yeah. So. I've always had a theory, and I always like it when I get validation on some of my theories that these are my like, talking shit at bar theories.
Yeah.
And kind of like the way that I'll, say something like, I don't really believe in lesbians or something, whatever. Right.
Sure, yeah.
But I've been saying forever that I don't believe that group brainstorms are productive. Like I've been saying forever, I just don't think it's like a good way to write where everyone gets together from scratch. It's like, yeah, I get like if someone needs to figure out like what we're going to make first.
Yeah.
And then we sort of all think of ideas.
Yeah.
But like from scratch where it's like,
everybody shows up and you go like, they're just like, all right, ideas.
You're like a general brainstorm, and they do them for all sorts of things. Girls love doing general brainstorms, right? And I've had projects I'm working on where everyone's always like, let's do a general brainstorm. And I'm really against it. And then this guy that was on Tim Ferriss, he does all these studies, and they did these crazy amounts of studies, and all of them proved that these are like useless.
Yeah.
Basically what they said is
too
way
many,
better.
for sure. If there's too many people, 100%. Like if you have a writer's room of 10 people and you're all doing it, it's too many inputs.
No, the problem is if you're going to have a brainstorm, you need to be very focused on what we're brainstorming about.
Yeah.
And even then, all of the studies proved it's way better for everyone to come with 5 ideas.
Oh yeah. You're saying nobody shows up prepared in any way?
That's what they do.
That's a total fucking
they do that all the time.
Around city right there.
It's dick around city.
Yeah. I can't imagine a lot of good has come of that. But if you have some sort of outline for stuff, and then, even like SNL, their pitches, you show up and you have all these pitches, and then you pitch them, and
exactly.
Yeah, but just to show up and like put yourself on the spot.
People do that.
That's crazy.
And not just in entertainment. They do it in all sorts of jobs.
Yeah.
They have raw brainstorm sessions. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah,
bud.
Hope you're getting late in Web3. So Netflix has gone the other way.
It's a solid Netflix show, by the way. What? I don't know if it's because I'm Canadian that I like
Dear Whites.
The Pentaverate.
You're happy with it?
I've watched the first 2 episodes. Pretty funny. It's like got some
remember.
classic Mike Myers stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I heard Mike Myers one's okay. Actually,
it's actually pretty funny.
Is he wacky?
He plays it's a conspiracy kind of. So he plays 8 different guys, and he's like the main character is basically this reporter from Toronto from like CHCH News, but they call it CACA News, so it's like Kaka News or whatever in Toronto.
Oh, there you go.
And then he's going for his like, and it's so dude. The best part about it by far, and I didn't even realize it until like a little bit. So everything when they're in Canada, remember like all the shows in Canada in like the 90s before were like they had this like fuzziness to them. Like they looked worse. Like remember you could see a show and you go, that's a Canadian show.
You just had a bad TV.
No, definitely not. Because the fact is they reference it.
Your parents didn't want to spring for the good model.
They reference this in the show, but it's
I don't really remember all my shows being fuzzy. But
dude, the Canadian shows looked worse. Like it was like we had worse cameras in Canada. I swear. Okay. And anyways, and in the show they're like, yeah, everything's fuzzy in Canada, and then they go to America and like it instantly goes into like 1084K, and he's like, yeah, it really is fuzzier in Canada.
Interesting. So he's doing all
this.
But dude,
you watch it. You go like this looks like a Canadian show. Like it looks like a Canadian show when they're in Canada from my childhood. And then
dude, Mike Myers is the GOAT.
And there's like one character who's like the Alex Jones guy he plays. Dude, and there's all about like this. It's fucking. I'm only 2 episodes in. Solid show. So
okay.
Very pumped to watch the whole
thing.
Thing.
Definitely give that a try and report back to you with my thoughts.
So and it's a Netflix show.
Well, Netflix, they basically, did you see the memo that came out?
Yeah.
So Netflix come out with this memo and they go, if you're afraid to work on Chappelle's special, then you can hit the
Yeah, you can talk to our HR department, Mr. Ligma.
Yeah. So they've. Do you think that like straight white guys at Netflix that were holding their tongue are empowered right now?
Oh.
You know what I mean? White guys are do you think white guys are revved up at Netflix right now?
Oh.
Walking up to like the fat fucking girl with the clown haircut that protested Dave Chappelle. Like, there's gonna be some changes.
I mean, they're just in full. Like they're
panic
in panic mode, dude. If you look at their stock price, it's like doing worse than Dogecoin.
Well, it really is,
dude. It's doing worse than Dogecoin. Like it looks like a shitcoin. No, but for real, it's just like they're probably.
I'm laughing, but I have some.
Yeah.
Hey. Well, it really is that thing where communism, like in all forms, works better when it works better when it's going good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, why are you going to you're going to be like, oh, we're going to shake things up when your share price is $600 a share?
All that nonsense only makes things go down. I mean, whatever. That's the obvious part. But yeah, so basically, do you think that the shareholders, in the sense that they go to the board and do you know in secession, they're always having to go meet their biggest shareholder, right?
Yeah.
And the biggest shareholder, who owns, billions of dollars worth of company, where it's like if he sells it, it'll be a big bad deal. You know what I mean? And then they go and he's on an island and he's always kind of smoking a cigarette and he's like, yeah, I'm telling you, it seems like I should sell. Convince me otherwise. You know what I mean? That's their attitude. Do you think that some of the big stakeholders in Netflix went there and they were just like, there's going to be some changes or we're out?
I don't think
none of this fucking
I think
nonsense.
It's literally they're like, look, what we're doing.
Who's there?
The CEOs.
Okay, so you think
the dual CEOs?
Yeah, the two gay CEOs. Yeah.
They're the lovers. But I think they are just like, look, okay, well, clearly.
Do you think they held hands when they did the meeting?
No. I wonder if they were. I wonder if they do meetings like combined meetings like that.
Who's gonna tell them that we don't have any woke stuff? You or me? And then they go, you know what? Let's do it together. And they hold hands and they go out and they go, all right, so all this fucking gay shit's over.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the parent who like put up with that stuff.
I think Reid Hoffman, whatever his name is a fucking dweeb, dude. He likes that shit.
They're a dweeb,
maybe the other guy doesn't.
It's fine
no, he
to
sucks.
be like that when it's working. But now
no, because Reid Hoffman has like a fucking pussy podcast where he basically... Yes.
The
I think
Hoff
so.
Report?
He has like a big podcast, and he basically like really leaned into. I've heard him on other podcasts too, and he's just like, whatever. There's nothing more important than
Reed Hoffman or Reed Hastings? I'm
thinking Reed Hastings.
I mixed those two guys up.
Which one's the Netflix guy?
I think Reed Hastings.
Yeah, I think it's the Netflix guy. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I don't get. To be honest,
not important. But
if your name's Reed, I have a problem with you. So it's two Reeds.
Yeah, there's two Reeds. There's two Reeds who are famous tech guys. I forget what the other one is. But
the Netflix guy was going around like preaching the gospel.
I think Hastings is that one.
Yes, he was preaching all the stuff of. There's nothing better than. Okay, here's another example. Know how I was saying that the group sessions are good?
Yeah.
I actually think it's same also in writing sessions. It's better. A lot of times it is, like I always say, if you're making a girl show, I think you should have 4 girl writers.
Yeah.
Like if you're having if you were writing a show about fucking, some like gang shit, like I don't think it helps to have some nerdy white guy in the room. A lot of times it helps to have people that all kind of,
have
you know what I mean?
Experience.
Well, he was saying the opposite of that. He was like, there's nothing better than having lots of different points of view, and we want the most points of view possible. And I was like, that's the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, but at the time,
sense.
that was the path of least resistance.
Yes.
To have that argument. And
But he's
it's like
stupid.
it's basically the
fucking
the
dumb,
inmates.
if you ask me.
The inmates were running the asylum, but then the warden was like, everything's actually running pretty
The
well.
warden was all in on it.
I know, but at the time they're like, everything's going smoothly, so let's give them another try. And now it's unraveling. And
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying it's more that when he was. When all this was stuff happening, the inmates loved this shit, and he wasn't trying to tell them.
It's going fine. Well, he's like, it's going fine. Why am I going to rock the boat and be the villain? But now he can say, look, things are not going well.
So then what? All that stuff that I said is the most important thing in the world.
He goes, he has to say I'm wrong. Otherwise, he risks fucking not being the CEO anymore.
It turns out diversity is not important.
Yeah, it's not our strength. It's actually our weakness. More white shows.
I love the idea of them showing up hyped up. Like he starts and the one guy whispers to the other guy, he goes, hey, what are we talking about? And he goes, oh, sorry. Hits a box off the table to start the meeting.
All right, we got a guest speaker today to just inspire everybody for our new direction. Everybody welcome Gavin McInnes.
Yeah. Why? Also, there could be some changes. Diversity is done. Feminism's done. I'll tell you what else. You're allowed to slap girls' asses again. We just fired the HR department. Fucking your secretary's back.
Boys.
Boys. You're allowed to smash your secretary again, I'll tell you that much. And for the first hour of every day, we're going to be reading FBI crime statistics.
I think they actually, they did actually fire, 150 people today or yesterday.
I know, they've been firing people right and left.
They've been firing.
And you know what? He said a good point, finally. I mean, he is a smart, tech dude. He just had the fucking virus. He had the virus. Hope he's getting late on Web3. And he said, he was like, we're going to treat this like a sports team, not a family, where it's like the best of the best. And I know people that work at these tech companies, 100 fucking people apply. You do 10, 2 hour, 3 hour interviews and all this stuff, right? Then it turned into, once you're there, we need to, everyone needs to be taken care of. These are our family. And it's like, okay, well, just so you know, you have 10,000 other smarter, more talented family members that aren't trying to lose you money at the door that also want to get in.
For sure.
Be part of the family.
But there was just the goals changed. The goals were all ideologically based and not business based.
Exactly.
That was like the Brian Armstrong thing with Coinbase, where he goes, look, we're cutting the shit here. I'm sorry, but I don't care. Leave your politics at home.
He never was into the shit.
He's not into the shit. I'm just saying he saw it going off course, and then he's just like, look, we're not doing this. If you want to leave, I'll give you a nice severance package, but
here's a
no
question.
more politics in the Slack channels.
Option 2.
Yeah.
No more politics. Slack channel's huge. But option 2 or 3, we might have done a couple options, is that fucking one of the Reeds, he actually still believes all his bullshit. He's got sort of a George Soros-y mind, right? He still believes all this stuff, but he thinks that saying this stuff, he's almost, how some people say the woke shit, but they actually don't believe it?
Yeah.
Maybe this guy really believes it all, and he's saying all this stuff just to help hoping the share price will go back up. He's telling people, we're going to make all the good movies now.
Nah, this isn't going to make the share price go up. Fuck no. Not in this
market. Not the short term.
Hell no. Dude, fucking Bill Ackman bought on their last earnings, he's like, I'm buying a $3 billion stake. and it made the stock go like, up 20% or something. And then their next earnings came out and got cut in half. And he that day liquidated his entire position. He goes, I was wrong. Took like an $800 million loss. And he goes, I was wrong. And just moved on.
Me and Bill Ackman should talk because we sort of know what it's like to both lose a lot of money.
Nobody knows what it's like.
Only Bill knows me. That's me breaking.
Speaking of all my bad,
Bill, don't tell him Ryan Long's here. I want to talk about our losses. Speaking of what? I
was going to say, speaking of my bad financial advice, I've had some decent financial advice recently.
Yeah, you're doing good again, eh?
Not good. Not good. I literally just I was just like, yeah, this is definitely a bear market rally. Get the fuck out. And I just
that was your good advice.
That was it. I was just like, this is a fucking trap. No, I don't.
You were saying that every fucking 2 seconds. Anyway, I'm gonna take a quick second here to tell you about friend of the podcast that I use personally because I've been getting jacked. You can't see it now, but I'm almost pretty close to getting an 8-pack, and I lost 9 pounds. I don't know if you know this. Athletic Greens.
Oh yeah, I love
the good stuff. Come in sick pouches, or you can get the ones that aren't in pouches. But this stuff, it's mental clearness, alertness, clarity.
Yeah, I was going to say, not a word.
Clearness. Alertness. If you helps rest and recovery. It's a good pre-workout to use. Good taste.
I love it.
So I'm on the stuff. And one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, adaptogens. Start your day right. It's a special blend of ingredients, supports your gut health, nervous system, your immune system, energy, recovery, focus, all the things. So get on that. Cheaper than getting all the different supplements. And right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with our convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season. It's just one scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. You don't need a million supplements and pills. Come on. Just to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you got to do, visit athleticgreens.com/boyscast. Tell them the dog sent you. Again, athleticgreens.com/boyscast. Take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Also, now that we got you healthy out here, you're going to want that protein. The people need the protein.
They need the protein.
Not the protein, that protein I'm talking about, the Butcher Box protein.
Oh, I love Butcher Box.
Yeah, Butcher Box. We got good sponsors out here on the cast. If you haven't tried Butcher Box right now, you want to get in on that. They send you the freshest cuts coming straight to your door. Get cooking this spring, the best meat on the planet. The subscription service delivers high quality meat, seafood right to your doorstep. Choose between carefully curated selection of 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, wild-caught seafood, and more. Right now, subscribers will receive a free grilling bundle in their first order. So whatever you're thinking, if you like seafood, I'm more of a straight-up meat guy. I don't go too crazy out of the box.
I like seafood. I see food and I eat it.
Danny sees foods and he eats it. He sees beans and he eats them.
Classic joke.
Classic joke for a classic sponsor on the podcast. And this is, I'm not trying to be out here eating loaves of bread. Some of these people, they out here, they go, what'd you have for dinner? They go, I just ate 9 hot dog buns. Well, not for me.
You know what?
I'm out here getting my Butcher Box. Every month, Butcher Box ships curated selection of high-quality meats right to your home. Free shipping in the continental U.S. as well. Packed fresh, shipped frozen for convenience. They have a cool box for it, so you can save time on your next grocery store trip. Unbeatable value and less than $6 per meal on average for the good stuff. Kick off grilling season right with Butcher Box. Sign up at butcherbox.com/boyscast. To receive a free grilling bundle in your first order, you'll get 2 10-ounce ribeyes, 5 pounds of chicken drumsticks, a pack of burgers for free. And again, that's butcherbox.com/boyscast to claim this deal. So there's some wins. I was trying to do a tally of wins for the boys. I would say Mr. Bean's NFT crashing is a loss for the boys. Girls going topless is a win. all the fat stewardesses was a loss, so it's 2 losses, 1 win. Probably the She-Hulk movie's got to be a loss.
She-Hulk movie is going to be a loss for the boys. Although it's not going to be a loss because once it comes out, we'll have some good material. So.
Yeah, I know, that's why it's not really a loss, right? But did you watch the trailer?
I haven't seen it, but dude, remember we did that sketch?
Yeah, whatever.
It's like, what about the Hulk?
Yeah, it's literally
a
this
woman.
Yeah.
And you go, that's fucking genius.
And you know what? It's not. I will say.
Although I don't know if She-Hulk was a property that's existed in the comic book realm.
No, it's his daughter.
No, but I know, because sometimes you'll be like, oh, She-Hulk's stupid, and they go, oh, that's actually a comic book that's existed since the 90s.
Oh, yeah, I don't know any of that stuff. But I will say, the problem is when I was watching this, because you go, there was one line, and it was in the trailer, but the thing that these people do is there's lots of movies.
Who are these people?
There's lots of movies where you go, hey, some dude that what used to be an assassin or whatever, and now he trains his daughter and whatever. Like there's nothing wrong with that plot line.
No,
your son or daughter, right? Whatever it is, right? This guy trains the younger girl to be the Hulk. It wasn't that. The problem is they can't do it without rubbing it in your. Like the trailer had lines where they go. He goes, your transitions like into, being the Hulk are they'll triggered by anger and fear. And then the girl looks at basically the camera and she goes, yeah, anger and fear. That's the baseline of any woman existing. That's in the trailer.
Yeah.
So it's like, they can't just be like,
yeah,
we casted a girl. It's got to be like, we casted a girl. You got a fucking and then you go, I guess, like, if you're like, you're making this movie as like a fuck you to me, and you're like, okay, well, I guess I won't watch the movie, and then you're like, good.
Yeah, the girls who cheerlead that shit are like not into that kind of movie.
Yeah, so it's just the whole thing's so silly.
Yeah, remember that? I can't remember what it was called.
If you just put girls in it, guys are somewhat stupid, and you could almost slip it by us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You could like slowly, like, before you know it, you'd be watching a movie, and you'd be like, hey, wait a second. Are 8 to 10 of these characters women?
Yeah, totally.
But as soon as you like make it all like, yeah.
Well, then because you go, oh, this isn't like a movie anymore. This is like an advertisement.
It's an advertisement. Propaganda. It's an activism. And also,
like, activism's fine in movies, but it can't be overt. Like, they just do it so lazily, I guess.
Uh-huh.
It's very, you can do it, but they are lazy about it.
You know who's been on the scene lately is Project Veritas. You seen these guys?
Did you see the thing at Stand Up New York? What happened with that? Where Donnie, the owner of Stand Up New York, who's like a kind of based conservative dude, right? He loves all that shit. So Project Veritas, there was this Twitter engineer or like some senior guy at Twitter because they just run around.
Talking about?
No, not the guy you're talking about who was on the video, because that guy wasn't a senior engineer. He was just like a regular guy. And then, so anyways, he was like a senior guy. And so Donnie's on his Instagram is like, yeah, so he's like with James O'Keefe outside of Stand Up New York. And they're like, yeah, we were fucking chasing this guy down the street. And then he ran into the club like during a show. And so then
the Project Veritas guy
the Twitter guy ran into Stand Up New York.
Wait.
And so Donnie's with James O'Keefe being like, James O'Keefe is like, hey, can we go confront him during the show? He's in the audience. And Donnie's
How do they know the Twitter guy was in the audience?
Because they were chasing him and he ran into the club. And then Donnie's like, yeah,
I'm confused. Let's back up just one second. Why is he? So the Twitter guy.
Veritas.
But why are they all at Stand Up New York?
No. Okay, so they were just in that area of New York. They found the guy at somewhere at a restaurant. Project Veritas, James O'Keefe.
Project Veritas found out that this Twitter guy is in the mix.
He was
putting the phones in his face.
Exactly.
Twitter guy runs into Stand Up New York. Goes to the audience, puts a mustache on.
Kind of to go hide, and then they go in and Donnie's like...
So Veritas is like in the guy's face.
Being like asking him all these questions or whatever. You can see it on his Instagram. Okay. And then they go running to chase him, and then they're like, hey, can we... And Donnie's like, fuck yeah, I love this shit. So Donnie's like, yeah, let's go confront him. So then they all storm in. And then as they storm in.
This is just like some guy that works at Twitter?
Yeah, who I guess he's like some high up, and they were trying to like badger him on the street. And so then they go in with the whole crew, like cheater style. And then as they're going into the showroom, and Donnie's like loving this, egging the whole thing.
Were you there?
No, he posted on Instagram of the video of his perspective of it. And then the guy dips out and he goes, that's him. And then they chase him back out of stand-up New York, like all the way up fucking.
He's got a check mark on his head.
Yeah, like up like whatever, Lexington or something. And they're all.
So they're running.
And they're asking him all the questions like, why do you so blah, 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 and he's just like not.
Why do you hate free speech?
Yeah, why do you hate free speech? And he's just like not answering them and then he dips into like a taxi or the subway. Or
dude, that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of crime that She-Hulk would stop.
Yeah, I hope so.
Dude, She-Hulk would know what happens is if this is how She-Hulk actually gets mad to stop those crimes. She's like, I can't Hulk, and then she goes, you know what to do, and she's like, I need some snacks, and they go, you can't have any snacks tonight, and she goes,
She-Hulk angry.
So she has to they take away her snacks for the night, and then she goes and stops crimes like a Twitter guy being harassed for his stance on free speech, for example.
Terrible.
Well, that's not normally what these people do. By the way, Project Veritas sends me like a message every 3 days.
I got one too recently.
So I don't know if it's spam or what. I guess any big account, they just send everyone, anytime they get any piece of information, it's like, need to read now.
Yeah.
Extra.
Totally.
Please post. And it'll be like, Twitter guy outed as not liking free speech, right?
You're just like,
you're big surprise, right? But then the funny part is, I guess I'm like an insider getting these scoops because immediately I see like news organizations posting the exact thing that I was just sent.
Oh.
So that's how you become a news organization. Everyone just DMs you the news and you just repost it.
Yeah.
They copy and paste.
Yeah, that's I saw the one dude who was, and it sucks too, the most recent guy, because he was just like thought he was gonna hook up with some chick, and it was a honeypot.
Buddy, I'll tell you what.
Honeypot.
I gotta be honest with you, my friend. I don't love the idea that this is the new thing where you're going on dates with people.
It's not a new thing. It's the honeypot. This is the oldest time.
Well,
this is a tactic as old as time.
Well, seems like it's getting more accessible where everyone's. So you gotta be. I was thinking I gotta be careful what I'm saying, man. I'm pretty. I talk so much.
Don't say anything that you wouldn't say on the podcast. That's what is the
don't
thing?
say anything you don't want in the New York Times.
Yeah, on an
headline.
email or something.
Well, yeah. A part of me was obviously like, this is funny, but another part of me was like, this fucking poor sucker thought he was going on a gay date.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he's.
I think multiple dates. I think this chick was stringing him along for a period.
Did you see what happened on the thing? So. No. This was two guys.
Oh, two guys. Oh, I
so
thought
it was a gay date, right?
Oh.
And then at one point,
male honeypot.
This motherfucker that like caught him, right? So the Twitter guy that got caught, he basically tricks. They go on a date. He's got a fucking camera on his tie or something.
Yeah.
And then he's asking questions about Twitter, and the guy's, he's shoving the drinks back, and he's sort of showing off, right? He's like, if anything, fucking, we don't even give a shit about that pussy Elon Musk. I'd fight him right now. Or, one of those, right? And he's like, everyone there is left wing. We're a communist company.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that.
Some
Like,
version
he's like,
of
we're
that,
commies or something. I watched a bit of the clip.
He goes, it becomes some version of we don't care about making money, whatever, right? And then.
Oh, no. You're talking about. So you're talking. There's two different videos.
There's 100.
But the Project Veritas.
Dude, if you're working
that
on Twitter,
guy
don't
was
go on
that
dates.
guy was the gay guy, but the other guy was the brown, the skinny brown guy who's just like an engineer there.
Yeah, there's a lot
and
of
he was
them.
just kind of saying.
Veritas is
he was
got
just
Twitter in
saying
the
what was
scope.
kind of like in the mainstream narrative. He wasn't even like saying, but that guy was the one he was on a date with a woman. The other guy was
really? I thought it was a gay date.
There's two different videos out.
Okay,
right
whatever. Well, it's irrelevant that it was a gay date.
Yeah.
But the person in the video that I was watching, which I thought was a guy, maybe I'm wrong now, but basically he was going, and he was showing him stuff, and he was like, he goes at one point, one of them says, and there's this
the one we call
group
Elon Musk
called
is
Project Veritas that's been like doing, I guess he goes, and doing this basically, and trying to get people like me. I mean, luckily I met you in real life, or else I'd be suspicious of you. And then the person goes, Veritas?
Yeah. They're like literally going to grab their like cyanide capsule.
Buddy.
They're just like,
isn't that
luckily I
wild?
met you in real life. You're like,
you're sitting there, hearts thumping.
Oh.
You're getting the good shit.
Yeah.
So you're on this date with this fucking person, and they start going off, bum, 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 and then they go, yeah, there's some of these people that come, they meet you on dates, and they get you to talk about this stuff.
The only thing though is
they were like realizing it. I'd be
your heart's
sweating.
thumping, but also like you're not like fucking Donnie Brasco where you're like, there's no like if you get busted, and you go, yeah, I work for Project Veritas. Anyways, I'll grab the bill. Sorry about that, and you just walk out, right? Like it's like there's no. Then that person goes, can you
have to take off your spy camera?
Yeah, he goes, you rip off the mustache. You go,
Oh, my friend, I was quite a wildo watch But so that was, I don't know if that's a win or a loss for the boys. But then there's there was the big, the big girls on the Illustrated.
Yeah.
And then the two other ones were, there was She-Hulk, and then Barbie came out with its doll that has hearing aids.
Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff, there's a lot this week, but Germany got the titties out in the pool. So it was okay on that
Barbies,
front,
I'm fine.
right?
I'm fine with the Barbies.
Yeah, I mean,
I got no beef with that.
It's just funny, though, that they're all still hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because really... That's,
well, it's still Barbie.
well, fine, but that's the difference between Barbie is
You know
like...
how much a new mold costs, Ryan?
Right. Exactly. That's the joke that I always make. It's like they need inclusivity. What they mean is like smoking hot Barbie with a sling.
Yeah. It's true.
Oh, it's like this, like they actually did this. So they said they got one with hearing aids. So it's like you got a supermodel wearing a hearing aid.
Yeah, hearing
like
aids.
like that needs more representation. Like a 10 out of 10 like runway model that has a hearing aid.
Yeah.
Like there's some girl that's sitting at home. This is like, you know what I mean?
And don't they have wasn't there an amputee one?
If you have if you're a bit hard of hearing and you're a 10 out of 10 chick, I promise you, things are gonna work out okay for you. No, they got one where they have Barbie.
Oh,
that
prosthetic leg.
Yeah, they got a prosthetic leg.
Yeah,
Prosthetic leg.
You think they just have
eye
like,
patch? I think.
You think they have well, if they were
They have a Ken doll with vertigo.
vitiligo.
Vitiligo.
That's what
They
Michael Jackson had.
They gave Ken that he doesn't have any pigment in his skin.
Yeah,
They just made him black. They just painted all the Kens black.
that's good.
If they were really cared about diversity, they would get a Barbie that's a beast.
Yeah, a big old Barbie.
Well, they'd get Barbie, and it would
Is that
come with
not a doll at that point?
No, it would come with Barbie's mansion that you have to. It's like basically it also comes with like a crane.
It's a lift. Barbie's got too big to get through the door frame.
Yeah. So that's like a little girl playing with her Barbie that she airlifts her out of the fucking Barbie's mansion. It just looks, and it's also, if they need to have like a layer of slime that it leaves when you put it, like you kind of move the Barbie and it kind of has a layer of slime that comes along with it.
You know what the weird thing though is, like, because I guess the point of this is that people want Barbies that I guess look like them, even though most kids didn't look
most kids didn't look
like a Barbie anyway. But then you're like, this is so like, imagine it's Christmas, you're just like a regular kid, and your mom's like, I bought you vitiligo Barbie. And you're like, I don't want vitiligo Barbie, Mom.
Yeah.
It's like, I want regular Barbie. I got you hearing aid Barbie. And you go,
fucking
okay.
Barbie. I got Barbie with
it's honestly like the fucking feminist mom. Like that's what feminist mom would buy, Marcus. I guess with the hearing aids, you could take them out, but then you're like, you buy them, and then you're like, where are the fucking hearing aids? You play with Barbie, you go, where are the hearing aids?
Yeah, where are the hearing aids? You probably lose them unless they're welded on.
But I'm saying, then the parents get mad. You go, like, I got you.
How about that? Like,
or you color in the white spots on vitiligo, and you go, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck? You wanted? I thought that we had a progressive daughter here. I gotta find out that I have a bigot been living in my house. What about Barbie that you don't tell your friends about? Like, you know what I mean? That's the whole thing. It's like Barbie that, and Ken like goes back, you basically Barbie's so gross that Ken goes back to his friends in the commercial, and it's like, what'd you do last night? And he's like, just sat home.
Just chilled,
I just chilled.
Went to bed early.
Just chilled, went to bed early.
Gotta get those 8 hours.
Yeah, and then Barbie sort of comes in, he goes, not now, and just don't tell them I'm together or nothing like that.
Just if anybody asks, we work together.
Yeah, like Ken doesn't want Barbie to ever meet his friends and stuff like that. So that's an option.
Not bad.
Yeah. You know what I saw? So speaking of, on the topic of this and the mugs.
Yeah.
There's a new group that I'm about to be doing a little deep dive of.
Ooh.
Called Femcels.
Yes, I sent that to you.
Yes, I found it on my own accord. And it is something. Way to throw me under the bus.
Yeah.
I found this under my own accord. That is definitely a grade A case of you telling a story to a guy that he told you.
I mean, whatever. You're getting stuff here and there all the time.
I do get stuff from a lot of places. You are one of my sources.
Yes.
That's the thing. You started thinking you're my sole source,
I don't think I'm your sole source.
Yeah, well, I guess this...
But I mean, I did send that to you.
I do have a note that it came from someone fat.
It came from a potential Sports Illustrated swimsuit model.
It came from a swimsuit model. That's definitely me telling someone the story that they told me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bad at that too with like the kind of story that like you just told me about stand-up New York.
Totally.
That's the type of thing that I would tell you again like in 2 weeks.
You remember this fucking James O'Keefe the thing? You got to watch the video though.
I will.
Good shit.
I actually did now that I think about it.
You probably saw it.
No, I was there now that I think.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
Yeah.
I was there the whole time.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I was actually doing stand-up that night. I was actually working for Twitter at the time.
That's so funny too, because like most businesses, like imagine so many businesses like a Starbucks. You go, hey, I'm James O'Keefe. Can I follow this guy and get him out of the Starbucks? They're like, get the fuck out of here, piece of shit. He just happens to go in the one place where he's like, yeah, and I'll seal the back door so he can't get out.
It's so true.
Yeah.
You're running into the place. He's like, there we go. Who the fuck are you? Go, don't worry. I'm James O'Keefe from Project Veritas. It's all good.
The Twitter guy goes, a comedy club. What I know about comedy clubs is this is a safe haven for liberals.
Working through you're trying to chase this guy through the coffee bean in East Williamsburg. Everyone's pouring coffee on your face.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't worry, Project Veritas. Then James Keefe just starts having a meltdown because everyone everywhere is like, it's all leaks.
Yeah.
Like there's a conversation right there where they're like, oh yeah, I work at Netflix. I'm a communist. And they're sitting over there. It's like, I actually work at Amazon.
Yeah,
Buddy,
like,
I've been stealing from
like,
Amazon.
where's
He's trying to
Waldo?
take down the man. He's like, I don't have enough wires.
He fucking goes to the front of the building. He's just like, I got to go in there. And then he just hears, hey, O'Keefe, look up here. And he looks up and there's just a pot of fucking hot coffee dropped on him.
Yeah, it's like, the coffee bean people would definitely have the backs of this Twitter employee. Well, anyways, this group that I found on my own accord called Femcels.
Do they like men?
Well, they don't really like men, but
Do you think there'll ever be an incel femcel wedding?
Oh, now we are talking. You may now punch the bride.
That's good shit.
Well, it sort of relates to this, Barbie stuff or whatever. And I actually, to be honest, I always like people that are, even if I disagree with their thing, that thing with comedy or art where people say, I don't really care that much if it's true. I care more if it's honest. And that means that I care more that like, this is what you think. Mm-hmm. And the problem with a lot of the stuff, I guess it gets murky where people can convince themselves things, but there is a lot of it where it's like, this isn't even what you think. You just were told this and now you're repeating it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, with the feminists, so basically the liberal feminist notion of supporting women and feeling positive all the time is disingenuous. I'd rather be able to talk about being ugly than try to convince myself I'm pretty. Now, so that's what they're saying. They're saying to these like other feminists, like, hey, because they're like, you are fucking beautiful. And they're like, no, I'm not. Listen, I'm 300 pounds. I know I'm not hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then they're also like, here's the Sports Illustrated swimsuit
But they feel patronized by this shit.
For sure.
It's kind of like, there was there'll always be, a lot of times you'll see like black content creators that are telling, these people like stop. They'll be like, oh, they're so racist. You didn't even realize they were messing with you. And they'll be like, yeah, I'm not stupid. Like, stop.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So basically it's the same thing where these people, it's this like,
look, I know I'm gross.
well, you have this hot fucking Hollywood chick or something going up to these like 400-pound girls being like, you are beautiful. And it was like, then she goes back to her rich dude husband in a mansion and the girl goes back to her,
And also she is conventionally beautiful.
Well, yes, she goes, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
It's like a dude. If how girls sometimes be like, I need tall guys or whatever. It's like going to a guy that's like 4 foot tall and being like, you actually are just as tall as anybody. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm not tall. Like I might fucking be able to get hot chicks.
Yeah, I'm like,
whatever.
I'm not a worse person. I'm not a bad person.
You could be cool and fucking jacked. I know lots of guys. You think fucking Justin Silver ain't, he's pretty short. He fucking does good with girls. It's not
like guys I don't know.
Danny DeVito crushing puss.
Vladimir Zelensky. Hello. Guy fucking crushes Tang, bud.
More like Vladimir Pen 15 is hard.
Crush Tangsky?
Crush Tangsky. Vladimir Crush Tangsky's pretty good.
Vladimir Smash Tangsky?
Vladimir Putangsky.
Putangsky. Yeah, but again, it doesn't make you a bad
How about that,
person.
Skeet?
Although I will say, I will be fucking impressed with these femcels if they figure out how to rent a van.
Okay, yeah. I like the femcels because they're for themselves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I respect what they're doing in the movement.
But honestly,
I want to have some femcels on the Boyscast.
you know, we both have degrees in economics, right? From a just
And I have, I have a black belt degree.
Whatever,
A fucking white belt.
Whatever, yeah, but you know,
your yellow
just
belt.
from a very basic standpoint, you go, look, if you just take all the femcels, you probably think the femcels and the incels probably a similar amount of people.
No, I'll tell you what, you're mixing up one thing though. Incels think that they deserve like nice tang, you know what I mean?
Right. No. Oh, but the femcels don't think
I don't
they deserve?
think, I haven't done my deep dive yet.
I think they do. I don't think they're just like, we're gross, homely chicks who deserve nothing.
That's what I gathered from the
No, they go,
line.
it's the same. They go, we deserve more. But if it's like if they could just get them all in one room, like for a fucking, like,
That's
you know, an 8th grade dance, they'll all match up with one another, and the subreddits will just be barren, and they'll all have to be like, you know what, this ain't so bad after all.
I think the incels aren't going to be, you go, like, you imagine you're this incel, and you go, these fucking women, and they're sluts and hoes, and blah, 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 and, you know what I mean? They're taking down the white man, and this and that, and you go, I know you're mad about all that stuff, but how about you get this 350-pound whale?
Honestly, think about this way. There's so many crazy fucking reality shows. There's so many crazy reality shows,
And she hates men.
You take fucking 10 incels, 10 femcels, and you put them on a fucking island.
Now
so they can't go anywhere. There's no van rentals. No van rental places. So there no weapons, nothing.
Someone's getting stoned.
No coconuts. They get rid of all the coconuts. So it's just them, and they have to hang out. And those guys, they're like, I'm never having sex. I hate women. Those women are like, I'm never having sex. I hate men. And then you just force them to be together. I guarantee you, they're all smashing by the end of it.
By the end of it, they're all smashing.
They go, you know what? This is better. This is still better than just being an angry loner. You know, there's more to life than looks, and they just, you know, I think at least a few of them.
Well, I will pitch this next time.
And then the winner wins a van rental place. You win your own van rental company.
No, you're going to be the 4chan moderator for a week.
Anything goes.
I've been doing the joke about how it's harder to have Bible stories because, you know, God used to be really into miracles, splitting the sea and everything, and then he kind of stopped now. He haven't done, but the most miracles he does these days is generally like, oh, you know, he puts Jesus in a coffee or something like that, right?
What are you talking about? Fucking, you ever heard of a guy named Joe Biden and his 78 million votes? What do you mean God doesn't do miracles?
That's going to be
crazy, dude. You're crazy, man.
How about Zabinski? Oh no, there's a big skeet.
This is a big skeet.
Vladimir's a big skeet. So he's got skeet. No, but I've been talking about that because he's basically like, he's big in it. I think he's because he's like married now because back in the day you're like, you know, you're trying to split the seed, trying to get some tang or whatever, and then his wife's like, why don't you split the seed again? And he goes, and what? Fuck you again? Like, what am I doing any of this shit for, right? but he
goes, I was like, look, you know, I split the C to just impress you.
I split the C to impress you.
Yeah, and then I got you.
No, I split the C to impress your sister.
You know how tired I get after splitting the C?
Yeah, that was
exhausting. That is.
But I've been saying that the reason is because of Google, probably because, you know, I think I even might have said this on the podcast where it's like, you know, David and Goliath. If you look it up, it would be like this, you know, 4'5" guy took down this 7-foot guy, and then if we had now, you'd look up the guy's height and be like, yeah, he's 6'2", and that's Hollywood, so it's pretty big. But and I was saying if it was now,
wait, you're saying that some Jews might have been hyperbolic about the size
that's what I was going
of David versus Goliath?
I was saying if now Goliath would get to go on Tucker Carlson and tell his side of the story. He goes, I'm minding my own business, and a bunch of Jews started throwing rocks at me because I told them not to raise the rent.
His Palestine t-shirt.
Yeah. If Goliath
Goliath's free Palestine on fucking no, he's on CNN. Goliath's on CNN.
I guess now
free Palestine shirt.
Yeah.
And then Tucker Carlson's like, David, so tell us, why did
you have David on?
We have David on. From David versus Goliath.
Yeah.
David, I hear you have a new line of slingshots coming out. Is that true?
I can't decide.
He goes, yes, Tucker, they're made in America. They're American-made slingshots.
I feel like Goliath is more the working man. I feel like you got it wrong. Goliath would be on Tucker Carlson because he was like, yeah, I was just doing my daily routine of breaking rocks, and I had bunch of these guys came up and told me I had to pay more interest or whatever. I feel like those guys would be more on CNN.
Yeah. And then
they would be like,
Tucker Carlson's
he's racist.
Isn't that usury? And he goes, it is, Tucker. That is usury.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
That's right. And then
the thing is, they try and avoid any sort of anti-Semitism stuff. On Tucker Carlson, so they wouldn't touch it. It would go the other way.
Okay, so then I don't know if my analogy works as
it's close.
Good,
no, it does for the most part.
It doesn't fit perfectly because the anti-Semitism. Someone would be on Tucker and someone would be on Anderson Cooper. Someone would be. I feel you think Goliath would be talking to because there's no racial or sexual sexism component.
David would be like a based Jew, like based Orthodox Jew.
Why is he a based Orthodox Jew?
Because he's on Tucker Carlson.
But he's not though. He was just like some guy. Goliath came in, and they're saying Goliath was bad, but
But again, the history is written by the victors.
Mm-hmm. That's why he gets to, and exactly, he gets to tell his side of the story. And Anderson Cooper would not be interested in that because there's no racial component.
Right.
Moving on. I'll tell you. Okay. Speaking of shooters,
speaking of shooters. By the way, I read the shooters' manifesto. Turns out I'm not white anymore. Did you know
I
that?
read it months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's another loss for the white guys.
Turns out I'm not white anymore.
Yeah.
He actually ranked me the lowest.
Really?
Oh, yeah, in the manifesto.
The manifesto was interesting.
Jews are the lowest. Apparently, I was talking about apparently he plagiarized a bit from the Christchurch shooter.
This is what I heard.
Yeah, he stole a lot of it.
That was a bad one for white dudes. I mean, apparently there was another shooting like a couple days ago as a black guy came out and he was like, even the playing fields.
Oh,
recently,
really?
Yeah.
No, there was the church in San Diego or whatever. A Chinese guy shot up a Taiwanese church.
I thought it was a black guy.
Nah.
It's hard to get the racism.
No, it was an old Chinese.
when it's a white guy, you'll know. How do you know that? No.
I mean, that's not the craziest assumption based on what's been happening in New York. But.
How do you know that? If a mass shooter was white?
Oh.
They'll tell you.
It's classic. I've heard that joke from 5 different people, and it's always just their job. Yeah, it's always.
I was actually when they were like announced the shooter, and it was like a white guy, and he looks like fucking Patrick.
Dude, he literally in the manifesto.
I was like, "Fuck!" Some people were probably so pumped.
Dude, in the manifesto, he put for the media who's reading this, he did this whole Q&A with himself,
Crazy,
and then he goes, "Here's a photo that you can use," and it was Sam Hyde.
I know.
In his thing.
I know.
Yeah.
He was like here's the thing.
He's a bit of a meme lord.
A lot of people seem to think that this is like a conspiracy.
I have seen some of that. I don't.
I've seen people were saying this looks like it was written by the fucking FBI.
I saw, yeah.
Which I don't get how they would do it. Yeah.
I see the angle that we've heard that like, they've tricked him into doing it, but I think he believed all this stuff. He was a fucking lunatic, and he just went and.
Sure. Okay. So I don't think it's.
Why would the FBI do this? For false flag for gun control stuff?
Yeah, I'm not really. I don't know, but I will say there was things coming out, and the FBI and like whatever organizations, the 3-letter organizations, they do some like wild shit where they find like essentially mentally challenged people. They're doing it with terrorists. And they're doing it with like these people, and they find a guy.
I mean, the people who were gonna go kidnap Gretchen Whitmer or whatever, the Michigan, remember? And they were like, we're all going to do this plot and they were just talking to FBI agents the whole time. And like they were never wanting really to do it.
It seems like they spend like 90% of their time like finding people at like chat rooms and being like, well, you should do some terrorism, right?
You know what the dark secret is, which is not dark, but they have budgets and there's not that many people who want to do this shit. They're honestly like, I said it to my girl.
You think it's as simple as that?
I said to my girlfriend after the Brooklyn shooter, right? The subway, remember the subway that we don't care about anymore? But we went to the Yankees game like the next night, and she was like, there's a big crowd, and she's like, I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, look, anytime somebody wants to do this, they can. Nobody wants to do this shit. Like the main takeaway is that every night in America, someone could perform some crazy act of terrorism so easily on a crowd of people. This don't.
Sounds like the FBI talking right now. You're trying to subliminally get in everyone's heads. Dude, they find people that are like basically, retarded.
Yeah.
And then they go whisper in their ears, because I've always thought that I could probably convince like a girl to do probably most. You know, they always have like the guy, like a bottom bitch. I've been with probably 5 girls that I'm like, I could probably convince him to kill someone if I really was like, you have to do this and we'll be together forever. Like, people are pretty easy to convince, especially when they're mentally challenged.
The weaker the mind, absolutely.
Okay, so that was one part. The second part was there's all the different things that everyone are pumped about, because every time any of this happens, everyone has to prove that it's, it proves their political thing, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like, first they get the race, then they're like, oh, it looks like this was his political views, and then they'll be like, this is what he said about COVID, and they're like, no, it's actually because it's just everyone trying to prove which one it was, right?
And he was really all over the map.
He was a little all over the map,
yeah. He was very like.
Well, Occupy Democrats, they posted one of they honestly really make me laugh. It said, he was motivated by white replacement theory that has been pushed by Trump. Retweet to expose Trump! ! And
for the next 3 hours only, we're matching your donations with a triple booster.
How funny is it to try to get retweets? Some guy does a mass shooting and you go, if you don't like this shooting, retweet if you don't like Trump.
Yeah. I mean, again, they're just, these guys
retweet this, and tag 5 friends in this post if you don't like school shootings. If this email doesn't go out to 5 more people, another mass shooting will be wished upon us.
Your family's gonna die.
Well, here's the thing and this is obviously
the worst thing I saw. Have you seen anybody on your Instagram calling for internet censorship because of this, or like Twitter? I've seen like a few kind of like normie people I follow, and they were like, "We need internet censorship now."
Yeah,
because of this.
And I don't think I've ever seen them stop calling for that.
Well, it's more very
rejuvenated.
Overt. Yeah. It's very overt like we
censor us, daddy.
But
daddy.
What do you propose?
It's sort of like a kid going home and there's like, there's like a movie with violence in, and the 8-year-old goes to his dad like, "You're really gonna let me watch Die Hard? Are you fucking crazy? You should be censoring me."
Did you see they disbanded this afternoon the Disinformation Governance Board? It's over.
I guess I'm out of a job.
Grand opening, great close.
Grand opening, grand closing.
It was not well received. That chick resigned.
Do you know what's fucking crazy though? I was like, the guy keeps saying, like, they keep saying in the thing that they go, oh, he was into the white replacement theory. That's like a conspiracy from the right wing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And this is what everyone's saying, right? That's like what everyone's like linked onto of the main thing, that he killed people because of this white replacement theory. And I'm like, I've always been like, I mean, I guess the probably best position to be would be like, hey, I want, my immigration position is irrelevant to race. You know what I mean? Where you're like, hey, we want the best people or whatever it is.
You can't have a fucking position where we're going to only
okay, but like,
people. And they need cheap labor, which is less likely to come from our country.
Don't they say this though? I'm saying, like, I feel like late night talk show hosts are like, and white people will be the minority, like, woo, and they like cheer for it.
I mean,
but like Joe Biden will say, like, and that's why white people will be the minority because that's so great. Like they say it like as a good thing. But but how is it a conspiracy theory if they say it?
Well,
that's what I don't get.
Yeah. I think the conspiracy theory, which I don't agree with, is that. And I just don't think there's any evidence. I think they're like, oh, there's people at the top, the puppet masters, who are doing this on purpose. They're taking in immigrants from other countries
for voting blocks,
for voting, and like just to fuck with white people and all this stuff, and for voting and for just to.
But you don't think that there's anyone?
I mean, that is happening, but it's not a conspiracy. That's just what's happening because but you don't
think that there's anyone like. I don't even think it's like crazy to say that there's someone that works at the Democratic Party that's like, yeah, obviously this racial demographic votes for us, so we'd rather, like, you don't think the Republican Party too is like, hey, immigrants from here are more likely to vote for us, so we'd actually rather have those? Like, wouldn't it? Isn't that like obvious?
A lot of for sure, but I don't know.
I don't even think that's like.
I don't know that
should be. Why is that even a conspiracy?
It really, at the end of the day, I don't think
that they pay attention to racial demographics.
Dude, like, there's so many people.
Of course they do.
I'm sure people who are coming over on like, who are coming over to America from other countries who are not white, but are coming here for like, making $200,000 a year or some fucking like engineer or something.
Yeah.
They probably don't vote for the Democrats across the board. It's the ones who are getting more free stuff who maybe they do, but I don't think it's easy to say like everybody coming who's of a certain shade.
But they're saying, I think it was one of those things that the Democrats think that, but it's sort of turning because everyone turned on them or whatever.
There's that element for sure. I don't know. It's not a conspiracy. It's like,
but it just like, I just felt like they were like this conspiracy, and I was like, didn't you guys like say that? I don't know.
Yeah.
But you're saying the conspiracy is that it's this like
being done on purpose,
as opposed to something it's
just structural.
But okay, so they're like, we're excited about this, but we have nothing to do with it. That kind of thing.
Yes.
And then the conspiracy is like, actually, you have something to do with it.
You're doing this on purpose. Like again,
okay,
like America and
sense.
Canada and all these Western nations always need an influx of new labor willing to do the jobs on the very bottom, right? Where are you going to get that from? It's not coming from Sweden.
Why? Oh, on the bottom.
You're saying you need people to come in to do like the worst jobs that nobody wants to do.
Right.
It's like you're not getting those people from fucking Sweden or England.
It's
like they're
someone
coming
doesn't
from traditionally countries that are not white.
Yeah, people don't want to immigrate from. Well, I mean, they might immigrate from like Russia and Ukraine and like not now, but you know what I mean. Like, there's lots of like poor white countries, isn't there?
There are, and yes, again, they do, but not. I don't think to the. I don't think
for fucking shithole.
I don't think. Yeah. I don't think those are in the same the same vein.
They're not
some of the really poor countries. Like Russia's like, they're a huge fucking oil exporter. Like they're not poor in the sense of like, Central American countries are poor.
Well, anyways, we'll say that
African countries.
That one's a loss for the boys.
Yeah.
The fucking incel guy.
Yeah.
If they'd given him his island, this wouldn't have happened with the Femcel.
Great.
And apparently his like best friend was this like Spanish guy with like a black girlfriend. And his best friend was going out there kind of being like, yeah, this sucks or whatever. But his pal.
This sucks or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, that's his exact words.
This stinks.
Gonna take another quick second here because I told you I'm trying to get jacked out here. You know what I mean? And one of the best tools to do that is with FitBod. Now, you just type in, you go, what's available? Gives you workout plans. You typed in how much you did, and it keeps your workouts interesting. You can even be at a new gym that doesn't have that much stuff, and it keeps track of everything. It keeps you motivated. It keeps you wanting to work out because it's a fun thing to be sort of keeping track of and comparing to your other stuff without having like a pencil and a paper and all that sort of stuff.
Like a fucking nerd.
Like a nerd. No matter what your goals or experience levels, FitBod finds the best workouts for you. No 6-week plans, no shortcuts, no bullshit. FitBod's innovative algorithm learns your goals and experience level, crafts a personalized training regimen unique to you. So, access your personal routine on the easy-to-use mobile app. Start making progress on your goals wherever you are. It's like having 24/7 access to a personal trainer. I've been seeing progress. Like I said, I give me a month and a half, I'll have probably a 6-pack. I could never get an 8-pack, but I get a 6-pack. So I do have a lot of good ab workouts I've been doing actually right now. Yeah, I've been trying to.
What's the one?
Well, one of the ones is a lot of actual sitting ones, but I've been using the bar where you pull down.
Oh yeah.
And there's a couple actually
the weighted
machines. Yeah. I've been on a couple different things, but
plus if you
there's a lot
do
of
that
them
hard enough, you can suck your dick eventually.
You can suck your D eventually. It's either one of the two. You got to get better abs or bigger dick. And I don't see my dick growing.
And there ain't no app for that. So.
And there ain't no app for making dick, so.
Let me tell you.
But they do have an app for better abs. So this algorithm uses data and analytics to build on your last workouts and maximize results. Tracks your muscle recovery, balancing your workout plan with a variety of exercises to avoid overworking certain muscles, which is probably something that I do bad. So you actually do with these plans, you actually probably end up doing less workouts and better results. Integrates with your Apple Watch, Wear OS smartwatch, and apps like Apple Health, Fitbit, and Strava. Build your fitness habit and become a better version of yourself with FitBod. Get 25% off your subscription or try out the app for free. Try it out for free when you sign up at fitbod.com/boyscast. That's 25% off your subscription when you sign up today at fitbod.com/boyscast. Let's get back into the episode. All right, this is the best article of the episode, by the way, coming up right now. Vice comes through with one that says, how to be friends with your lover's lover. If you want to be friends with your lover's lover, you
gotta be my lover's lover.
So basically, this is for people that, their chick is banging another dude, and you're thinking this dude might be a good partner for you to be boys with. And they said, there's even a term for your lover's lover, and that term is metamer, or your partner's other partner whom you are not dating. So basically, they call that your metamer. So it's like, you're just like, me and my metamer. I think they're trying to create sort of a sitcom. It's like,
metamer.
Hey, and he goes,
it's like the Odd
yo,
Couple.
your chick's other boyfriend's a fucking pussy. You go, hey, that's my metamer you're talking about.
Hey.
You leave my metamer's name out of your
Show
mouth.
some goddamn respect.
That's my metamer. Yeah, so I had a buddy that he's into all this fucking life. Sleazy dude.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Nice.
And he always says he has unicorn nights.
Yeah, it does.
And he goes, yeah, they go to the like swingers clubs and stuff, and he calls it a unicorn. And basically what happens at those clubs is there's like 30 couples and then like 4 single girls, and all the couples are vying for who gets to sort of take home
they're
one
just
of the
pawing at them.
Oh, they're just every couple's trying to bring home one of these girls.
I remember, did you ever do comedy at that place in
I did
Mississauga
once,
or Etobicoke or whatever?
Yeah.
And I remember doing, you go, this is not a looker in sight.
No, not a looker in sight. Every fucking woman looks like a bat catcher.
Pretty much. Every dude
You
just
are
like
an umpire.
Giant beer guy, super tan.
Every girl looks like an umpire. Like you can picture every single girl on the thing yelling, 3 strikes.
You're out of here. My friend actually went. He told me my buddy went with a girl he was dating once, and they were, in their 20s. And he said they just went there, and he's like they had sex while everybody watched them, kind of thing. And
How do you like that?
I think he never went back. I think it was like a bucket list. You do that. You go, that's it.
He goes, if your partner likes them, chances are you're going to too. So do you think you'd have that? Says Laura Beth Bisbee, a psychologist, gender, sex, relationship, and diversity therapist. So she's probably.
Do you think it's like
really
a Seinfeld
fucking
Banya situation?
Bannon. Yeah.
Banya.
Banyan. Banya. This means there's a good chance that you'll share the same interest with your metamer. They're trying to make it sort of sexy, like my metamer. Like a friend who's already been pre-screened for you. I mean, you do have sort of the same interests, like banging your wife. That's one of the things that you both have in common.
Being away from my wife.
Just me and my metamer. You don't think this is a sitcom waiting to happen?
It's good. Yeah, it's The Odd Couple.
Hey, yeah, it is. It's me. It's my metamer.
It's basically like, this is the sitcom, okay? So one of the metamers falls on hard times. So then the girlfriend goes like, he's going to move in temporarily. She breaks up with both of them, and they now live together.
And they end up, and then,
they live together, and they sign some sort of binding lease. And
one of the episodes, they draw a line down the center.
Yeah, it's an Odd Couple, like literally Odd Couple 2.0, but that's how it starts, is they were dating the same girl, she pieces out, and they're now stuck together.
And it has sort of like, you remember like Sister, like old 90s songs that used to be very like, it's like, that's my metamer. And then the other guy goes, metamour. It's a metamour. It's a
metamour. It's a metaphor for friends.
Metamour. It's a metaphor for friends. Metamour. It's a metamour. And I've said before, this is my friend for life. Metamour. As I've said before, it's my friend before.
Do you think Vice has
I put my metamour before O's.
Metamour before O's. Sometimes I feel Vice has like a Boyscast department. Where they go, hey, we haven't been on the podcast in a while. Can we crank something out?
And so basically they've got that's my metamour. And then I've been friends with dudes where we did the same girl, but not at the same time. It's more like afterwards you're friends.
Yeah.
Where you like fucking...
what up? Was that Eskimo Brothers?
What up, bitch? Yeah, Eskimo metamers.
What is the meaning? Not meaning behind, but where does that come from?
Eskimo Brothers?
What do Eskimos do something?
No, I think what happens is like back in the in Iqaluit and places like that, like a lot of the men that were native there used to all just put their dicks through the hole in the igloos, and then the girl would suck them. But because they were all religious people, they would say that they were in a relationship with the person at a time.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So basically, they would go dick to dick to dick, sort of like an Eskimo igloo glory hole situation.
That's not bad. That would get cold though.
Yeah. So that's why they would call that.
Do you think there are fucking glory holes up in Iqaluit?
Yeah. I think so.
Go, who put a hole in my igloo? What's
That's
this?
a good native accent.
What's this there? What the hell?
What's this there? A hole in my igloo? Someone put a hole in my seal blubber wall.
You ever see that on TikTok?
That's the trick. I feel like the trick to that accent is you just keep your teeth together.
Just talk a little slower.
Yeah. A monogamy hangover is leftover monogamous thinking that monogamous thinking is the leftover monogamous thinking that people might have. So your monogamy hangover, they're calling it. So that's in particular.
That literally sounds like some executives are like, okay, we need a new hit movie. And they're like, it needs to be women based. You go, what about? It's like The Hangover, but it's the monogamy hangover.
Yeah, it sounds like a really bad
movie.
movie.
A check for $50 million. You're a fucking genius.
How about this? Instead of because monogamy hangover, it's all the guys. No one. They all have wives, right? So they don't get in any trouble. So it's starring Zach Galifianakis.
Not bad.
Huh?
Not bad.
Zach Galifianakis hit it. Zach Galifianakis hit it. Not hit it. Zach Galifianakis hit it.
And Vladimir Busnutsky.
Vladimir Busnutsky, yeah. That's not bad. Veskitsky. And she's thinking that anyone else your partner is dating is automatically competition. Make sure you're ready to look at your metamer as a friend, a family member, supporter, an ally, rather than someone who would take your partner away. But this looks so stupid because you go, well, it sometimes would be competition. If your girl starts banging a guy that's actually pretty into her and he goes, yeah, he's more money than you. He's better at sex. He's like better looking. He's cooler. Yeah. It's like all the things you go, why wouldn't that be competition?
Every time he shows up to pick your girl up, he plays that song. It's Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah, you go.
You have to play that every time you come here?
Yeah, her thing. I guess in the scenario where, or worse, like your metamer is like, you're like, hey, I'm a little worried about the Medicare. It's like, oh, no. Your Medicare would never actually be with me in a relationship. Like the other alternative is he's not competition because it's like, he's too good for her.
Yeah.
Which is way worse. That's one of those like meme pages, all the like hood meme pages. One of the things is like the worst thing that could happen is looking through your girl's DMs and finding her getting swerved by dudes.
By the way,
she's hitting up all these dudes and they're saying no.
Can we talk about that poster on the Patreon?
What's the poster
I sent
on the
to you and
Patreon?
John Christ?
What was it?
The poster for that comedy show.
We'll talk about that on the Patreon.
Honestly, if you don't subscribe to the Patreon, there's so many good reasons to, but this fucking poster for this show.
Yeah, because it's comics. Let's not go too public with it.
Yeah, we're not putting this on, but it is one of the funniest fucking things.
There's a couple good things here. JJ's here too. Okay, monogamy hangover, and then they said the next step is to allow the friendship to form organically. Don't force it. Don't come on too strong with the idea that just because he's your partner, he's with him. Immediately, you need to be best friends. Warned Bisbee. That could be overwhelming. So when you're trying to make best friends with your metamer, you don't want to come on too strong is sort of the idea here, right?
Yeah.
Which is like you're showing up at his work. Like, I just thought maybe I just got 2 tickets to the Yanks. He's like, I actually have plans. You go, oh, maybe another time? Okay, what about tomorrow morning? And the metamer is like, oh, I'm banging your wife tomorrow morning. Okay, what about after that? It's like, hey, listen, man, you're coming on pretty strong as friends from the metamer friends.
Yeah, just fucking lay off, pal.
I
got enough friends. You go, oh.
That'd be a bummer, man. The guy that's banging your wife turns you down as a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the world they're living in where it's like advice on how to go talk to they're like, it's not only like, hey, sometimes people are going to bang your wife. It's got to the point where here's advice on how to make friends with the guy that's banging your wife.
And I guess there are people who read this and they go, that's good advice. I go, honey, I got some,
Your wife comes home, she's like, you're crying. She's like, what's wrong? And you're like, my friggin' metamer turned me down. Can you talk to him for me? I don't know. He seems to hang out with you. He doesn't want to hang out with Bill.
Yeah, you go, okay, you know what? Let's just go out for
maybe the three of us will go out.
Let's just go for a Sunday and and then they show up and go, what's he doing here?
Yeah, what's he doing
I thought you two should talk.
I just don't think it's that crazy that maybe once in a while I want to have a drink with my metamer.
Just want to have a drink with the guy who fucking blows loads in my wife.
I mean, I don't think I'm that out of line to say that every once in a while, if I want to maybe play some catch, play some frisbee, go to the beach with my metamer. I'm not saying we have to go on vacation just yet.
That's how the show ends.
What's even the point of having a metamer if I can't go with my metamer?
The first episode of the show ends. It's like Field of Dreams goes, hey, metamer, you want to have a catch? I'd love to.
He goes, listen, dude. I don't know. I'm new to this thing. I'm banging your wife. All good. I'm glad you're not mad about that. I'd rather this than you trying to beat me up, I guess. But I just don't want to play catch with you. And he goes, yeah. Then the Metamer feels bad.
Yeah, and he goes, hey, Metamer, you want to have a catch?
He catches the guy. He's sort of wandering around aimlessly in the park. No, he's just throwing the ball to no one in the park.
Yeah. Just, not even against the wall. He's just tossing it as far as he can go, and then he walks over slowly, gets it, and just throws it back the other way.
Hey, who's that? It's your Metamer. Hey, Metamer. You want to play catch? Yeah, so being friends with your Metamer is pretty fucking stupid. If your Metamer doesn't want a relationship with you, you got to accept that. Some people just aren't interested, so you got to accept that if some guy on the tours this weekend was trying to get me to bang his wife, it's pretty fucking weird. Dude, I'll talk about that after too, but I do have to show one more thing before we switch over and go to the Patreon, because this is and JJ's here, but we've been talking so much about what to do when you have multiple personalities and the personalities thirsty.
Yeah.
So this girl has a TikTok channel where she just, she posts all the things about having her different systems. And apparently it was a hot topic recently, what we were saying, like, does your system get to cheat or whatever? And for those of you who are wondering, this has this has some answers for us, so we can have some conclosure.
Okay.
It's very down the middle, straight to the point. It's not very confusing information. So this is what happens.
This is definitely a video that's going to be hard to do.
Stop.
But you are right, it is on a system by system basis. In my system, yes, I would consider that cheating. However, I have seen systems that have had multiple partners, but it's that specific alter that has the partner. So mind-wise, they are a one-person relationship. Sorry, I can't remember the word for it. But their body would technically be a multi-relationship, or polyamorous, I think it's called. So like, if you actually really think about it, the mind is dating different people because there are different people. But since there's only one body, that one body is being shared throughout the rest of those people. And I'm not here saying there's anything wrong with that. Like that.
So I think that sums it up for us.
Dude, okay, just picture those exact words coming out of a guy who just got busted by Joey Greco. Like, literally just got, like, Joey Greco. Like a guy who's like fucking in a van, and the chick shows up on Cheaters, and he goes, look, it's just the mind.
No, well, technically
there's two systems in the mind.
Here's the thing, there's two different systems, and one system's polyamorous, and her system, so technically
so Joey, you at the wrong place, my man.
Joseph. You ever heard of a system?
Oh, you guys are all wrong.
But, okay, so you have to understand, my one system is me, just, Billy Boy, who you're talking to right now. However, my second system is Vladimir Sucktitsky.
Yeah, Billy Boy, not a cheater. That's Billy Boy's not a cheater.
Never cheated.
And I'm Billy Boy right now, but when you showed up, that was Vladimir Sucktitsky. So
Vladimir Sucktitsky.
He's a bit of a dog. I got my issues with him, though.
That is so funny. Just like some fucking normal average like dad that gets busted like fucking the babysitter.
Oh yeah, who doesn't know any of this bullshit.
And he sends this video to his wife.
We should put this as a script. Like,
what?
As a bust cheat, like if you a script for getting busted cheating. Just this.
The girl goes, she's throwing your stuff out the window. As you come home, your suitcase out the window, you go, you better have a better explanation. You're like, have you heard of a system?
No? Okay.
Vladimir Harditsky.
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, fucking fellas. JJ's coming on the Patreon this week. He's skulking around our studio. Come to his show. I already told you about
May 25th.
May 25th.
Brooklyn Comedy Club, 10 p.m.
He's broke. He's poor. And he also needs to sell some tickets so we can have this as a monthly show. And me and Danny are both going to be there. What are you mouthing poor to us for? Yeah, so that's why we're trying to sell out your stupid show, and we're both going there free of charge.
Take profits. To all the crypto friends, take some profits.
Hold on. This is JJ, there's a little bit of a song for you. And she hopes you're getting laid in Web3. He's a crypto boy. Nah. Peace.